All right, so thank you very much. This is section 1.2, linear equations and rational equations. So my goal is to walk you through some very few examples so that you'll be able to um, have less difficulty when you see such problems on the homework. These problems have been selected from the Pearson homework. All right, so if we have a linear equation such as 4 times x minus 3 plus 16 is equal to 3x plus 4, so the first step that we do is to expand um, the terms that involve the parentheses. So we proceed by multiplying 4 by x, so 4x minus 4 times 3, which is 12, uh, plus 16 is equal to 3 times x, which is 3x, plus 3 times 4, which is 12. Okay, so next we write 4x and negative 12 plus 16 is negative 12 plus 16 is 4, is positive 4, so this is plus positive 4 is equal to 3x plus 12. So the next thing that we do is to group the terms that involve variables on one side and to group the constants also on the other side. So this becomes 4x minus 3x is equal to 12 minus 4. So this becomes 4x minus 3x is x. So we have x is equal to 12 minus 4, which is 8. So the solution to this linear equation is x is equal to 8. All right, so let's look at another example. This time involving fractions. So we have x divided by 12 is equal to x divided by 13 minus 7. All right, so for these kind of examples that involve fractions, the first thing that we have to look out for is the LCM, the least common multiple. And in this case, the LCM is 12 times 13, and which equals to 156. So we would multiply every term by 156. So 156 times x divided by 12 is equal to 156 times x divided by 13 um, minus 7 times 156. All right, so 12 divides 12, 12 divides 156, 13 times. So we have 13x here. It's equal to 13 divides 13 once. It divides 156 12 times. So this is equal to 12x minus 7 times 156, which is 1092. All right, so now we have to group the terms that involve variables on one side and the numbers also on another side. So this becomes 13x minus 12x is equal to 1092 negative 1092. So this becomes x is equal to negative 1092. Becomes our solution. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the next example. So the next example that we like to look at is It's similar to what we just did. It also involves a linear equation that involves a fraction. So we have x plus 9 divided by 8 is equal to 3 divided by 4 plus x minus 1 divided by 2. All right, so the LCM here is 8. We can see that 8 can divide 8, it can divide 4, and it can divide 2. So we multiply through by the LCM. We multiply every term by the LCM. So this is 8 times x plus 9 divided by 8 is equal to 8 times 3 divided by 4 plus 8 times x minus 1 divided by 2. All right, so 8 divides 8 one time, so we have x 9 is equal to 4 divides 4, 1. It divides 8 two times. So x plus 9 is equal to 2 times 3 um, and plus 2 divides 2 one time. It divides 8 four times plus 4 times x minus 1. All right, so this becomes x plus 9 is equal to 2 times 3, which is 6, plus 4 times x, which is 4x, and 4 times -1, which is -4. All right, so now we can group the constants on one side and the variables also on one side. So that gets us 9 minus 6 plus 4 is equal to 4x minus x, for the 4x minus x. All right, so 9 minus 6 is 3 plus 4 is 7. So we have 7 is equal to 3x. And if we divide both sides by 3, then we get x is equal to 7 divided by 3 as our solution. All right. All right. So this is pretty similar to the previous example. So let's move on to the next example. So example 4, we have 2 divided by 5x plus 1 divided by 4 is equal to 39 divided by 10x minus 1 divided by 3. So for these kind of examples where we have a variable in the denominator, these examples are rational equations. These are examples of rational equations. And so for these kind of rational equations, the first thing that we look out for is the restricted values of x. We can see that if x is equal to 0, the denominator 2 divided by 5x would become 2 divided by 5 times 0, which is 0. So it would become 2 divided by 0. And this is undefined. So the rational equation here, it has a restricted value such that x cannot be 0. The solution is such that x cannot be 0. So x cannot be 0. Because if x is 0, then the equation becomes undefined. So for rational equations, the first thing that we have to note is the restricted values. So x cannot be 0, so 0 is a restricted. The first thing that we have to note is the restricted values before we go ahead to solve. All right, so now we can proceed to solve. So the first thing that we have to, the next thing that we look out for is the LCM. So the LCM of 5x, 4, 10x, and 3 would be the multiplication of the 4 variables at the denominator. So we have 5x times 4, which is 20, and 20 times 3, which is 60x. So we can see that 60x can divide every single uh, every single term at the denominator. So our LCM that we pick is 60x. So we proceed to multiply every single term by 60x. So 60x times 2 divided by 5x plus 60x times 1 divided by 4 is equal to 60x times 39 divided by 10x minus 60x times divided by 3. Then from here we simplify. So 5x divides 5x one time. It divides 60x 12 times. So we have here 12 times 2 plus 4 divides 60x 15x times. So we have 15x here times 1 is equal to 10x divides itself once. It divides 60x 6 times. So this becomes 6 times 39 and minus 3 divides itself once, divides 20x. It divides 60x 20x times. So minus 20x times 1. All right, so let's simplify these terms and group the variables on one side and the numbers also on one side. So 12 times 4 is 24 plus 15x times 1, which is 15x, is equal to 6 times 39, which is 234, and minus 20x times 1, which is 20x. All right. So let's group the variables on one side and the constants or numbers also on one side. So we have 15x plus 20x is equal to 234 minus 24. So we have 15x plus 20x is 35x is equal to 234 minus 24, which is 210. And after this step, we divide both sides by 35, and that gives us x is equal to 6 as our solution. All right, let's move on to the next example, example 5. So in example 5, we have y1 is equal to x minus 3 divided by 3, and we have y2 is equal to x minus 9 divided by 4, and we have y1 minus y2 equals to 1. All right, so here we know y1, we know y2. So we can plug them into this equation, and from there proceed to solve. So y1 is x minus 3 divided by 3 minus y2, so minus, and y2 is x minus 9 divided by 4, and this equals to 1. All right, so this becomes similar to the examples that we have already solved. So the first thing we look out for here is the LCM, and the LCM here is 12. 12 is the number that can divide all the denominators. All right, so we multiply through by 12, so 12 times x minus 3 divided by 3 minus 12 times x minus 9 divided by 4 is equal to 1 times 12. So 3 divides 12 4 times. So we have 4 times x minus 3 minus 4 divides 12 3 times minus 3 times x minus 9 is equal to 12. So now we can expand the parentheses, and so 4 times x is 4x, 4 times negative 3 is negative 12, minus 3 times x is 3x, minus 3 times minus 9 is positive 27, and this equals to 12. All right, so 4x minus 3x is x, and negative 12 plus 27 is 15, and this equals to 12. So we can subtract 15 on both sides, and that gives us x is equal to 12 minus 15, which is equal to negative 3. So x is equal to negative 3 is our solution. All right, let's look at another example. So example 6 would be, we have 5 plus 5 squared plus another 5 here, and parenthesis times 7 um, equals to negative 20x. So we have 5 plus 5 is 25, and squared plus 5 times 7 is equal to negative 20. All right, so 5 squared is 225. So we write 25 squared. So 25 squared is 25 squared is 625, rather. 25 squared is 625. So this is 625 plus 5 and times 7 is equal to negative 20. So 625 plus 5 is 630. So we have 630 times 7 is equal to negative 20x. Is equal to negative 20x. All right, so 630 times 7, um, 630 times 7 is 4,410. So we have 4,410 is equal to negative 20x. And so we divide both sides by negative 20, negative 20. So if we do that, we will have x is equal to negative 21. as our solution. All right, so the last example that we like to look at is also a rational equation like we have seen before. So another rational equation. So we have example 7 here, which is 7 divided by x minus 2 plus 3 divided by x minus plus 6 is equal to 16 divided by x minus 2 times x plus 6. All right, so here the LCM. So this is an example of a rational equation like we've seen before. The denominator has variables in it. So this is a rational equation. The denominator has x, a variable in it. So whenever we have a rational equation, the first thing is we need to look for the restricted values of x, the restricted values of x. Or in other words, the values of x, the values that x is not allowed to take on. We can see that in the first term, if x is equal to 2, then we would have 7 divided by 2 minus 2, which is 7 divided by 0. And this is undefined. So x cannot be equal to 2. So x cannot be equal to 2. So 2 is a restricted value for x. And and from the second term, we can see that if x is equal to negative 6, then we would have 3 divided by negative 6 plus 6, which is 3 divided by 0, which is also undefined. So x cannot also be equal to negative 6. So 2 and negative 6 are restricted values for this rational equation, right? And another way that one way that we also call these kind of rational equations is that they are conditional. They are conditional equations because their result depends on restricting a value of x not to be either 2 or negative 6. So they are also called conditional equations. All right, so now that we have found the restricted values, the next step is to look for the LCM and multiply it through. So we can see that the LCM here is the LCM here is x minus 2 times x plus 6. So we are going to multiply everything by x minus 2 and x plus 6. So we have x minus 2x plus 6 times 7 divided by x minus 2 plus x minus 2 x plus 6 times 3 divided by x plus 6 is equal to 16 divided by x minus 2 times x plus 6 times x minus 2 x plus 6. All right, so here x minus 2 divides x minus 2. We have 7 times x plus 6 plus x plus 6 divides x plus 6. So plus 3 times x minus 2, and this equals to x minus 2x plus 6 also divides x minus 2x plus 6. So this equals to 16. So now we can expand the parentheses. So 7 times x is 7x plus 7 times 6, 42, plus 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. And this equals to 16. And so we can combine, we can group the variables on one side and the constants also on one side. So we have 7x plus 3x plus 42 minus 6, which is 36, and equals to 16. So now we can group the numbers on one side as 7x plus 3x is 10x, and this equals to 16 minus 36, which is also equal to negative 20. And so if we divide both sides by 10, we get x is equal to negative 2 as x is equal to negative 2, x is equal to negative 2. All right, and but remember we said, okay, x is equal to negative 2. X can be negative 2. The values, the restricted values are 2 and negative 6. So x is equal to negative 2 is a solution. It's a solution. All right. All right. So thank you very much for joining this section 1.2. And so I'll see you in the next one. Bye.